Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samastajana Kalyane Nirdam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapovana Sishyaya Namaha Hari Om. We are doing chapter 6 of Chandogya Upanishad. We have done already 2 sections. We are in the 3rd section of the Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 6. We covered 2 mantras last week. As usual, I will give you a very quick summary before we go further. The Upanishad says the whole cosmos started out from Sat. Then what about all these things that we see? And the Upanishad says it is nothing but appearance within Sat. Just like names and forms. It gives 3 examples, just like pots are nothing but clay, but we forget the clay. Also, all the golden ornaments are nothing but gold, but we forget the gold, but our focus is on the utility, like bangles or necklace, like that. And then all the articles made of iron are nothing but iron, but our focus is on the utility. So the purpose of the Upanishad is to make us realize we are that Sat, in which the world appears. World includes everything. Our body, our mind, our intellect, anything that comes to exist is borrowing existence from Sat. So Sat is like a very simple example that might help you. Very often, if I ask a question, is water in the wave or wave in water? I'm repeating that. Is water in the wave or wave in water? 99% of people will say water is in the wave because our attention is in the wave. But the truth is, wave is in water. Before the wave came up, water was there. So wave was inside the water, unmanifest. When the wave came up, it is water only. We are calling it wave. When the wave subsides, again it becomes water. So what is there in the beginning and the middle and at the end is the real reality. What appears in the middle is not the reality, but our mind is in the middle thing. So the answer is wave is in water. It started from water, it manifested in water, went back into water. Just like pot started from clay, but we thought it is different while it is being there in front of us, and they went back into clay. So, Upanishad, the way it approaches the topic is whole Srushti, means whole creation, is actually appears in consciousness and Sat place. Before it appeared, it is in consciousness and Sat. While it is appearing, it is also in consciousness and Sat. When it stops to appear, it still is consciousness and Sat. So we, if we realize, this is an opportunity for us to realize who we are. Then we get freedom, we get liberated right now. The moment we realize everything that I think is nothing but an appearance in me. Everything I see is an appearance in me. I am that presence in which all my working reality takes place. That presence is right now, it is right here. Just like clay is there even when you are seeing pot. So, how do we get there? How do we go there? Upanishad uses a process called Adhyaropa Apavada. It gives you a theme for creation. So that, and then it tells you the creation has started from Sat and Chit. Then our mind will be in Sat and Chit and creation. So this is a way of telling you creation is only in consciousness and so. But then temporarily our focus with Upanishad takes you, our focus or temporarily takes to the creation. While telling you it came out of Sat. So it keeps telling you it has become many while it is still there. While it is still there, it has become many. Bahusyam praja yeti, may I become many. So the one which is there in the beginning has willed to become many. How? Because within itself. That's only way it can become many. So the Upanishad is now telling you, you just now you are there within you, it's rising, but it doesn't want to tell you, if you tell directly, you would not get it. So then temporarily it talks to you about the creation. That's called Adhyaropa. While telling you it is in Sat. So you introduce the concept of Sat into your mind. Up to that part, creation is called Adhyaropa. Then it takes the creation out. That's called first Adhyaropa or superimposition in English. Apavada means it takes that out and then you remain. Ah, that's what that's process. So that process is already started. So Adhyaropa is going on. Creation is going to be discussed. What is creation? Last week I mentioned. So creation is take an individual at the individual level and cosmic level. We have a subtle body. Sorry. We have a causal body, which is called Taijasa. During deep sleep, you exist. That's called causal body. And then causal body at the cosmic level, who is the creator, Ishvara. He has a database for everybody. That's why he's Ishvara. Everybody is cause. Then Sukshma, it comes down to mind and intellect and prana. This called you feel them. Everybody has their own subtle body, But so that subtle body at the individual level, Sukshma Sarira, it is called. But it is the one which illumines that, because God is still there with you. He never left you. That the person who illumines that Sushma Sarira is called Taijasa. The cosmic level, who is now creator of these all subtle bodies, his name is Hiranyagarbha. So all this is creation. Your mind and intellect, your prana, they are all created within totality of consciousness. Then you have Sthula Sarira at individual level. That Sthula Sarira is called gross body. Then the one who is illumines behind the Devata behind it is called Vishwa. And then cosmic level, all these are created, Virat. The Virat also shines in cosmic level, that is gross world. Okay. So all these things are manifesting now. So this is Tritiya Khanda. So I'm just, for first two mantras we did before, I will just quickly go through it. Bhagavan has, Ishvara had told in the past, he is nothing but the one who has a database to project. The projection power is called Maya. And Avarana is also projecting both of them together. But this projection is taking place within God, within Brahman. So Brahma plus Maya is Ishvara. Then projection is only an appearance. It's like a mithya. Only names and forms. Once you realize you are actually Brahman, they cease to have a power on you. That's where we are going. Okay. Now, first mantra said, in third section, first mantra said, may make all these bhutas, and then they said three types of bhutas are there: andajam, jivajam, udbhijyam. Those are born out of eggs, those who are born out of jivas, and jiva means jaraism, like mammals, those who come and who sprout from earth. Three types. Then he says, Seyam Devata Aikshata, Hanta Imam Tisro Devata Anena Jivenatmana Anupravisa Nama Rupe Vakaravani Iti. Then he thought, Ishvara had thought, now these three subtle elements, which we talked about in the second section, which is Agni, water, elemental fire, elemental water, and elemental Prithvi. They are not yet grassified, they are called subtle. So he was thinking, may I create the subtle world and the subtle individual. Namarupe Vakaravani iti. And then may I also create names and forms, which is a gross world. So he made a sankalpa. From Karana Sarira, he saw all of them, including Prajna. Then he made a sankalpa, may I create the gross world and also subtle world, including the jivas and all the subtle world. Then he said, mantra number 3, let's have number 3, mantra 3, I will chant it. Right. Tasam truttamekayikam karavani iti seyam devata imam astisro devata anenaiva jivenatmana anupravishya namarupe vakarot. Good. So now tasam truttam ekaikam karavani iti. This is also part of his sankalpa. What he said is, now these are three elemental subtle forms are there: Agni, water, and fire. I will make them Trivurtam Ekaikam Karavani. Each one of them I split into three and then mix them. So Agni, let us take. This is called Trivut Karana, like Panchi Karana is Trivut Karana. You can only three is there. So Agni is splits into three parts, not equal. one is 50%, other two 25 and 25. Same thing with water, 50%, 25, 25. And then Prithvi, 50%, 25, 25. Then in the Agni, the two 25% parts he takes out, and then he puts 125% from water and 125% Prithvi. So now it is called a mixed Trivrutam. It's a mixture of three. But 50% fire element, 25% water, and 25% earth. Same thing with water. Elemental water is 50%. We still call it water, but grassified water. 50% elemental water, 25% fire, 25% Prithvi. Now it's grassified. This is Stula. The Agni that we see is Stula. Then the grassified Prithvi is 50% elemental Prithvi, 25% Agni, 25% Tejas. Sorry, water. That Trivrutam. So he made a Sankalpa. Now the subtle world, and then now I make gross world. Then Nama Rupe Vakaro, sorry. Trivrutam Ekakam Karavani. So he made it grassified. From Sushma elements, he made a Sankalpa to create grassified elements. And he did it. That is implied there. So Sushma said, all the requirements are, he made a plan in his mind. Now, Seyam Devata, Imam Stisro Devata, Aneneva, Jivena Atmana Anupravishya Namarupe Vakarot. Now he completed. All these three devatas, he pervaded. Means grass world, he has pervaded. Subtle world, he pervaded. So all the subtle world, Anupravishya Namarume Vakarot. And also the grass world he pervaded. Tasam Trivrutam Ekayakam. This is up Namaru Vakarot. This is up to third mantra. So basically, the Upanishad does not go into too much detail. It leaves a lot of gaps. Bhashakaras give the explanation. He made a Sankalpa, let me make 3, and then combine them, and then you employed it for Namarupa and grass forms, like grass individual and grass total. He created that. Okay. Number 4th mantra now. Tasam Trivrutam Ekaikam Akarot. Yadha tu khalu Saumya Iman Tisro Devataha Trivruti Trudeka Edaika, sorry, Trivut Dekaika Bhavati Tanme Vijanihi iti. This is 4th mantra. Good. That's good. Now, this is the key. Tasam Trivrutam Ekaikam Akarot. So each one of those he made into 3 parts and then recombined them into make the grass world. Remember, this is Adhyaropa. It's just a mithya. He's discussing something that is really depending upon Brahman. Even if you take out, you remain. Jagat and also Jiva. But you have to explain this world because you are seeing it. So Bhagavan is there all the time, but just appearing as this and that. So this process is going on here. So Now he's saying, Yadhatu kalu saumya imam tisro devata trivut trivudeka bhavati tanme vijani. Now I am going to explain in practical terms how these three are can be actually separated in the world outside. I will explain to you. Okay. Here, it will take a little bit time to make some points clear. Brahma Sat Jagan Mithya. This is the topic here actually. In the first up to first 7 sections, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya is the topic. Tatpada Vichara. Okay. Tatpada Vichara actually ends up negating the world. And then the Brahma is the way. So we are doing the next step is Apavada. Up to this point, creation is Adhyaropa. You have imposed something on God to get your attention. Now you have to explain how you remove this. Here in the Bhashyakara, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, I don't want to read this today because, or later I will read if time permits. A question arises, if God has actually entered Anupravishya into this world, does he become a sansari? Means he is not a God anymore. He also has sukha dukkha, like you and me. You are saying God is right here, right now. Bhagavan Shankaracharya clarifies that. He says, this creation is not like, okay, I will example first. Sorry. He gives an example. The example is, suppose you are standing in front of mirror. The reflection is the jiva, the created jiva. The mirror is the mind, intellect, body, all these things. Upadhi, it is called. Now, if something happens to the mirror, the reflection might also shake and it might have, but actual, original face doesn't get affected. And he gives example of reflection in mirror and also gives example of sun reflect in water. Bhagavan Shankaracharya. So if not, the sun does not get affected, the reflection is affected. It is like that. If you become purified, you identify with the original. Then you become free. You realize these are just come and go. They don't have any reality. They are names and forms. So your mind becomes pure. You actually experience it right now as the original consciousness. Mirror becomes removed. Because you are developing the attachment by thinking and repeating thoughts. You don't really, are not really purely your pure consciousness as Sat, as that water, it's not a wave. From the point of the wave, it is different. But all the waves are water only. In the same way, you are consciousness in every reflected mirror, but you are unaffected. The mirror, the reflection in the mirror is affected because of the condition of the mirror. Because of the condition of the water, the reflection of sun is affected, but sun is not affected. Exactly the same way, you as pure witness consciousness right now are unaffected by anything. They come and go. You are always unaffected. And it's possible now. That's the answer. A lot of discussion goes on this topic because Chandogya Upanishad is actually important, very important from the point of the Siddhanta, Advaita philosophy, what it is actually teaching. Numerous questions are asked in discussions. Number one. Number two, it is also helping the son, father is helping the son. It is also gives you how you liberate yourself. Very systematically develops a thought process. So if you actually connect with it, you actually feel it is it is correct. Going back to the water and wave example, before your thoughts rise, you are there. Thoughts are nothing but consciousness plus object. Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya Maharaj. Self unfoldment, he writes this. Thought is nothing but consciousness with the name and form given to it. Emotion is nothing but consciousness with a particular attention given to by mind. Thought is nothing but consciousness with a particular definition given by intellect. In and through all of them, if you can see you are there, unaffected, shift your attention to the light, not to the object. The light is consciousness. Because of the consciousness presence, only intellect is working, mind is working, body is working. Perceptions. Body is indriyas. That's the names and forms. While you are awake, while you are dreaming, your images are there. While you are sleeping, they all merge in you. You remain as consciousness, pure consciousness. You support. So this is actually going to come in the seventh section, I think. You will explain this process. As you, while your eyes open, you can be just like you are asleep, not non-reactive. Things, world will just pass through you. And that state is infinite because objects are only coming and going through you. You are not objects, you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. You are always, you can shift your attention. The fact that you have emotion is a proof that you are consciousness. Shift your attention to consciousness. It's an opportunity. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amrutam. Kenopanishad. In every experience there is God. This is exactly what it is. In you, your thoughts arise. In you, your Shiva has never left us. We left him. We went into Maya. So this is the explanation the Bhashyakara gives that this is like so nothing if something happens to the reflection, nothing happens to the actual original face. The face is only one. There will be million reflections. That is the jivas. Each one of them have their condition of the mirrors. Each one of them has different condition of the pots or the water movement. Some people are rajasic, some tamasic, some people are sattvic. And then reflection can be made ineffective by closing the mirror. Means you drop your identification with the body, mind, and intellect. Immediately the reflection becomes only original remains. How simple it is. It's only possible by Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, particularly if you have a reasonably decent mind, intellect. Because you cannot otherwise grasp it. Because our thoughts are all conditioned to be outside. It's the only teaching that tells you you are behind your thoughts. Your thoughts are in you. To know that you have to have teaching from Upanishads only. What you already have, you don't pay attention to it. What you don't have, you pay attention. So before we go to section 4, it's very brief introduction to section 4. It gives 4 examples. The examples are like there is a nyaya, meaning an axiom in Vedanta Shastra. It is called Sthali Pulaka Nyayam. Sthali Pulaka Nyayam. Pulaka means cooked rice, grains. Cooked. Sthali means container. So if you want to check if the rice is cooked, you don't have to go through the whole rice. You take few grains of cooked rice and then you check it out. Then you can confirm everything is cooked. it's, called, it's called Sthali Pulaka Nyaya. Nyaya means axiom. Sthali means vessel. Pulaka means cooked rice. In the same way, the whole universe. But 4 examples, they say you follow the same logic, you apply everywhere else. You are done. This is apavada. Now creation has happened now. Now how do you remove this? See, you are in a mess already now. What do you call your Sthula Sarira is here. Your Sthula Prapancha is there. Nama Rupa is there. Your Sukshma Sarira is there. So your Sukshma Prapancha is there. Your Karana Sarira is there. Karana Prapancha is there. It's already done now. Now you have to undo them and then say only God is there. This is all your appearance. Apavada is going to take place. So the process, Bhagavan Shankaracharya in chapter Vivek Chudamani, it explains. I will read that verse later. So the 4 processes are given. We'll chant one mantra, chapter number 4th section. Okay, let's first mantra. Yes. Yadagne rohitam rupam tejastadrupam yat shuklam tadapam yat krushnam tadannasya apagat agnehe agnitvam vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam त्रीणि रूपाणि इत्येव सत्यम. He takes 4 examples. First example is the grass fire that we see while we are cooking. Yad agnehe rohitam. He in the fire, because sometimes you see three colors. One is red, one is white, one is blackish. Blackish is become more distinct. Suppose when you have a wick, you can see that black color just at the place where the fire starts, the light starts. See, black transforms into light. Starts as black because there's nothing. Then it's slowly red and white, different combinations, all colors. So he's saying in the fire that you see, he's using he's educating his son. He's giving examples in the world we don't see, but he's telling you. Yadagne rohitam, whatever is red in the fires that you see outside, that is because of Tejaha. Teja means here the elemental Agni. The redness is due to elemental Agni in the gross Agni. Yach Suklam Tadapam. The white appearance in fire that you see outside is due to the elemental water in Agni. Because you have the three parts, I just explained to you 25%. And yet Krishnam tad annasya. What is the black part in Agni is from Prithvi. Anna word Anna and Prithvi are interchangeable. Upanishad uses that, okay? But I have to make sure I take the right meaning. That belongs to the Prithvi element. Elemental Prithvi, ungrassified Prithvi. So what is there now? Your vision has opened up. Really, it is not fire. It is nothing but elemental water, elemental Agni, and elemental water. Apagat Agni. Now, once you go back and see, these are nothing but subtle elements. The grass fire that you, in your mind, you are giving name and form has gone. What is left? Elemental three are left. Just like as soon as you noticed pot is nothing but clay, pot is gone. Now elemental three are there. Now you have to fill this. The Upanishad doesn't say, what did they come from? From Sat, Tejas has come. From Tejas, Apaha has come. From Apas, Apaha, Prithvi has come. So you go back. So what you think in your mind is actually Sat, the transformed in your appearance as different. So infinite variety it can be collapsed into subtle three, and those subtle three can be collapsed back to Sat. So the Agnitvam of Agni is gone. Only Brahman remains. And then he says, Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam trini rupanityeva satyam. You have got used to the words Vacharambhanam vikaraha. The effect is nothing but words, based upon words that we are used to, based on your conditioning of the mind, basically. Only reality is the three subtle elements are the reality. Then you have to go back. Basically, in your mind, mind is made of subtle elements. What is mind? Thoughts. What are thoughts? Consciousness. When you have no thoughts, you are God, you are consciousness right now. You come down as thoughts. You come down as thoughts. You come down to the world as separate because you forgot world is appearing in your mind. What is your mind? Elemental Agni, elemental water, and elemental Prithvi. Now, once the moment you went inside, suddenly you realize they also are only appearances as forms and names. Agni is a form, Apa is a form, Prithvi is a form in mind at the elemental level. So basically, you are directing yourself to your mind and then say mind itself is consciousness without forms and names. So Vacharambhanam Vikaro Nama. You remove them. When they came out of names and forms. When they are stopped there, they become consciousness. So everything outside, everything inside, when transformed into thoughts, and then they become subtle, then the subtle itself is nothing but Brahman, because it came out of Brahman. Section 2, we saw. First example is complete. Agni that we see is nothing but subtle three elements. Those three elements are nothing but subtle mind and intellect. The subtle mind and intellect are nothing more than Sat, reflecting in them. Number 2 mantra. Mantra number 2. And I will do mantra number 2 and mantra number 3 also. Yeah, let me do 2 now. यदादित्यस्य रोहितं रूपं तेजसः तद्रूपं यत् शुक्लं तदपां यत् कृष्णं तदन्नस्य अपागादित्यादित्यत्वं वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयं त्रीणि रूपाण्यत्येव सत्यम्. I will repeat. यदादित्यस्य रोहितं रूपं तेजस्तद्रूपं यत् शुक्लं तदपां यत् कृष्णं तदन्नस्य अपागात् आदित्यात् आदित्यत्वं वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयं त्रीणि रूपाण्यत्येव सत्यम्. That is also show number 3. Yeah. Yes. यच्चन्द्रमसो रोहितं रूपं तेजस्तद्रूपं यत् शुक्लं तदपां यत् कृष्णं तदन्नस्य अपागात् चन्द्राच्चन्द्रत्वं चन्द्रतं वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयं त्रीणि रूपाणित्येव सत्यम्. Let us do number 4 also. Okay, maybe I will chant 2 times, right? Let me chant second time also. Sorry. यच्चन्द्रमसो रोहितं रूपं तेजस्तद्रूपं यत् शुक्लं तदपां यत् कृष्णं तदन्यस्य अपागात् चन्द्राच्चन्द्रतं वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयं त्रीणि रूपाणित्येव सत्यम्. Now number 4. Yes. यद्विद्युतो रोहितं रूपं तेजस्तद्रूपं यत् शुक्लं तदपां यत् कृष्णं तदन्नस्य पागात् विद्युतो विद्युत्वं वाचारम्भणं विकारो नामधेयं त्रीणि रूपाणित्येव सत्यम्. Now, 3 examples are given. Already Agni is given. Next example is Yada Adityasya Rohitam. Any redness that you see in sun, during certain phases of sun, you see redness. See, it is very similar if you, for those who are scientifically oriented. What is happening is very, very perfectly scientific. What does the science say now? Particles make the matter, they are fundamental particles. So let us say neutrons, protons, electrons. Now they are further subdivided into many other particles, but just for the sake of convenience discussion, what are they? All of them are nothing but energy in motion, different types of motion. But it's energy to start with. The whole universe is nothing but that. Three: protons, electrons, and neutrons. But they're revolving so fast you cannot see them, and plus they're so small. But when combinations of them create the whole world. This is exactly what it is. With the rishis sitting under a tree, did the thought experiments, and they say grass world is nothing but three elements. But they didn't stop there. They said those elements are in you. And then they said energy is nothing but a byproduct of consciousness. If you take consciousness, energy doesn't exist. If you take consciousness, the whole world disappears. But consciousness gives ability for the energy to manifest. Then it appears different. That's exactly what they are saying. Rohitam is a fundamental element, not Rohitam, Agni. And the Rohitam, redness is characteristic. So everything you see outside in various colors combinations is nothing but made of these three colors: white and dark, and everything in middle, including, they just took one example as the Rohitam. They connected with our experience. And the experience is connected with consciousness. Then you are done. And whole universe is covered by that. So now his example, as Aditya, whatever is appears reddish in the faces of sun, tadrupam tejas, it be of the five element, whatever appears as white in sun, it is based upon the water element in sun. Whatever appears as dark spots in sun is because of the earth element in sun. They call it earth element. You don't have to imagine if earth that you and I see, because it's subtle element. But its property is darkness. Its property is whiteness. Its property what? Its property is redness. It covers all possible colors according to Vedanta. The Vibgr is between white and black. Everything in between is Vibgr. Rohitam is one the selected one in the middle. Now he says, Yat Chandramaso Rohitam, whatever appears red in Chandra, Bhagavan. See, the subtle parts are Devatas in Chandra. Taha Tejas Tadrupam. What appears red is due to Tejas. What appears white in Chandra is because of water element in Chandra. Water element does not immediately mean you think water, but I'm talking subtle water. Because before grassification, because from grassified you are going back to the subtle. And then from subtle you are removing everything out by going to consciousness. Okay? Don't lose the track of thought. Adhyaropa apavada is going on now. You first identify three elements, then because of them whole universe is created, then you go back and the universe is this. Now you re-evaluate it and then say, oh, these three, I can see them, those three. So you go back to your mind now. Then where the mind? Consciousness. You got problem solved. So in Chandra also the colors are there, and then they are virginate. So Chandratva of Chandra is gone. Who remained? Just subtle elements are left. Don't miss this point. The Chandratva of Chandra is, we think, grass. They reduce the grass to Elemental Agni, elemental water, elemental fire in your mind. Subtle. Then they have come out of consciousness, section 2. So, Chandratva, Chandraness of Chandra is gone. Only consciousness is left. Chandra is just Namarupa. Yad Vidyuto Rohitagam Rupam Tejastad Rupam. Any light you see. Here Vidyuta means lightning. But any light you see all around you, any light you see, whatever is white in this is because of Apaha. Whatever is red in that is because of Tejas, Agni, elemental. Whatever is black, dark means is elemental Prithvi. So light as you basically imagine light as you creep or gradually shutting off. What is happening? Darkness is taking over. Your mind is not on there, your mind is only on the light. So darkness and light are always there. The Rishi is telling you, if you increase the light, darkness further decreases. That's all it is doing. So darkness is always there. Just like consciousness is always there. It's like light. In the light of consciousness, a world appears. Our mind is only on the objects, Namarupa. So, you withdraw Namarupas into subtle body, and the subtle body is your mind and intellect. And then again, they withdraw them into consciousness. You remain. That's what is going on. So, even light you see around you is a means to realize who you are. So, these 4 examples are given. Using this Thali Pulaka Nyayam, you extrapolate it to the whole universe. Just like by learning about protons, electrons, and neutrons, you learn about all gross matter. So everything is explained. By knowing the cause, all effects are explained. What are the cause? Electron, neutron, and proton. What is the cause in this case? Subtle Agni, subtle water, subtle Prithvi. The whole universe is explained. Gross world is explained. Because gross world is formed out of them. Because we just saw that in section 3. Now you go further. Where is the gross? Subtle. Subtle is your mind and intellect, according to Vedanta Shastra. Now the subtle is basically reflecting. That's a reflection. As Bhagavan Shankaracharya explained, it is reflecting. It's a mirror of your life principle, Jiva. Now, if you purify, not react, now the mirror is getting purified and purified. You experience right now. And you also practice it. How do you practice? You don't react. Every opportunity you get, you just shift your attention to Shiva. From Amma to Shiva. Amma is manifested universe. Your thoughts. Take her blessings and go to Shiva again. Every experience is opportunity to know you God. Every physical experience is also an opportunity to realize who you are. It's a doorway to yourself. Without consciousness, none of them happens. Consciousness is you, not what you experience. So it is basically go back to your druk, seer, ultimate seer. So the last mantra again I will say. Yad vidyutvam vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam trini rupani tyeva satyam. Only the three elemental forms are truth, world is only appearance. Because it's a combination of them. So one sloka, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's, I will read, I said I will read it. Vivek Chudamani, verse number 260. Same thing. एकमेव सदनेककारणम् एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरनिरासकारणं कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयं ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि. They are about beautiful verses. Brahmatatvamasi bhavayatmani. It comes at the end. There are many verses. This Bhagavan, our Gurudev used to tell them, you practice them and meditate upon these verses. Ekameva sat, but appears aneka karanam, as the cause of infinite variety of, because everything happens in you. You are the ultimate cause, but you are identifying with effects that appear in your mind. So ekameva sat aneka karanam. Karanantara nirasa karanam. This is the karanam. When you actually throw away the status of the cause, you remain. Karanantara nirasa karanam. Nirasa means nirasta. Get rid of it. The karanam status, when you drop it, by recognizing you are consciousness. Just like when you are superimposing the pot on clay, first step is recognizing pot is nothing but clay. Second step is recognizing clay is nothing but pot. So pot is nothing but clay, you drop the pot. The clay remains. Once the clay only remains, the question of cause and effect is not there. It has always only status of cause is drop. Potentially it is there, but status is drop. Only it's always been clay only. Same way consciousness also is always the only cause. But in which you identified coming and going as you by mistake, and then you forgot actual cause. So get rid of all this. Karya karana vilakshanam swayam. The moment you drop the status of the cause, only you remain. The Muni remains. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. You remember that you are that Brahman. So this process of deimposition, this what you call deposition, first superimposition, now the world is being deposed. And then you saying you are going back to yourself. Apavada is going on. So quickly summarize, we have learned that out of the infinite oneness, Teja, elemental water, and elemental Prithvi are born. Then Bhagavan has used those elemental to create this subtle individual and subtle world. That Bhagavan associated with subtle world is called Hiranyagarbha. The Bhagavan associated with the individual subtle mind is called Taijasa. In us, Bhagavan never left us. As consciousness is illumining this. And then same Bhagavan has grassified those, but through Karana, world is formed. That we have learned. Now you have to undo it and going back to the grass. So he gave 4 examples, how to undo them. Then 4 examples are to take you to the subtle world. Up to that, science, maybe energy can stop. The subtle world is nothing but appearance in consciousness. Then you let everything take an upper, everything is nothing but a doorway to you. That's what Father is telling Son. If you know yourself, you know everything, because everything is in you. Only just as an appearance, that's not important. Mithya, mirror reflection is not important. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.